This tutorial will show you how to access the electronic library and specifically the Ebscohost database. Go to the MyRLC portal on the home page at Renly College and click on the electronic library link. Once you're on the Learning Resource Center page, you'll see several different ways that you can search through quick links or by a list of resources by type. Perhaps the easiest way is to go to the orange box, A to Z Electronic Resources, and that will give you all the resources and databases that Renly College subscribes to. Ebscohost database is a very common database used and probably one of the most efficient ways that you can find information for your research assignments or research essays. The page that you will land on asks you to choose within Ebscohost different databases if you want. Academic Search Complete is always the default, and this one has more than 8,500 full-text periodicals and actually indexes over 12,500 journals and 13,200 publications. However, if you are in a class where you know you want more specific information, there are other databases to choose from. For example, there is Business Source Elite. There's also ERIC, which is a wonderful resource for anyone who is an education major or in a class that is dealing with education. There's also Health Source. There's the History Reference Center, Literary Reference Center, and Military and Government Collection, and the list goes on. So if you can't find what you're looking for through a search with Academic Search Complete, do go through the other databases and see if any of those will find specific information for you. If you click Continue, you'll find yourself on a basic search page. Basic search will usually work just fine. Advanced search will allow you to look for more than one or two terms. In Ebscohost, as with any database, you don't want to type in a sentence like you might type in to Google. If I was in Google, I might type, what are the different arguments for gun control? In Academic Search Complete, I want to just type gun control as my search term. Ebscohost will then show me all of the results, and so far I have over 130,000 articles. That's probably more than any student wants to look at, so you can look at how you can actually limit the sources that you're given. One way is to look over on the left-hand menu where you can find different ways to expand or limit your search terms. You can also just limit to local titles, which would mean just the things that we have physically in our library, full text articles, or articles that only have references available within them. You can also look for source types like academic journals or newspapers specifically. There's also a way that you can change the publication date. For example, with gun control, you might not want to go back to 1889, but you may want to look in the last 10 years, so 2010 to 2020 will definitely drop the number of sources that you're given. You can also search by relevance, and you can look at different page options. Once you do go into an article, you will find the information that you need to simply look at to see if this is an article that you want. The abstract is essentially a summary, so if you read through that, it can prevent you from sometimes having to read through a very long article to find out that it's not necessarily going to work for your assignment. There are different ways that you can access the assignment, there are different ways you can access for the article. One is to simply scroll down. It will have the full text article. If that's not available, you go to the left-hand menu and you can click on either HTML full text or PDF full text. PDF will give you essentially what you would see if you went to that magazine. So anything like photos or illustrations, charts, maps will be available with PDF. So when you have gone in and you've decided that this is an article that will work for my research, there are a number of different things that you can do with that. You can save the article to Google Drive. You can print it. You can email it to yourself, save it on a jump drive or on your computer at home. You can also export it, and you can also share a link with yourself. Any of these work, and I always recommend to students that as soon as you know you want to use an article, make sure that you have that saved in a place where you can access it without having to be online. Another thing that Ebscohost will do for students is give them the citation information for their research assignment or paper. If you go over to the right-hand menu and click on Cite, a dialog box will pop up and it will have all kinds of different citation formats. For example, here's AMA, APA, Turabian, and English classes at Renlake College will use MLA. With this information, all you have to do is copy and paste to your works cited page, but do make sure that you check for spacing, indentation, and italicizing, which may not necessarily be correct with just the copy and paste. But the citation format makes life a lot easier than having to go through the MLA handbook and look for the information. So Ebscohost is definitely a database that will allow you to find a lot of different information for whatever kind of topic you've been assigned in a class. If you need more information or if you need any help accessing the information, you can always ask one of our librarians in the Learning Resource Center.